Get it how you live it.
The engine is starting up.
I did a bunch of numbers across that. The housing up here and going we come across these over.
Telling the truth here. I'm speaking to you.
I like the idea that a voice can just go somewhere uninvited. Just kind of hang out like a dirty thought in a nice, clean mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of It's Me Speaking to You. I am, as always, your ever-faithful host, Mr. Jeffrey Wilson, coming to you live and direct from, well, it's none of your damn business. And let me tell you what, I am so absolutely stoked to have my guest on today. Man, I met this gentleman, geez, brother, it's been almost 10 plus years when we were working on a film called which we're all very, very proud of. And, you know, even before that, 6 seasons on Third Watch. What was it? 8, 9 seasons on The Game. 3, 4 seasons on Burn Notice, which was already a show that had like 3 or 4 seasons under his belt. And now he is back, ladies and gentlemen, playing Heel Supreme. He is the head of the, what is it, the Sentinel, head of the Sentinel Service, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
He is Mr. Coby Scott Bell. How are you doing today, sir?
Jeffrey Wilson.
Yes.
What's up, man?
I am just chilling, man. I am chilling, just admiring your work last night. Like I told you a little bit off air, I'm trying to get used to you as the heel, the villain, Coby Scott Bell, man. Let me tell you, so before we get started, bro, I mean, obviously there's been so many different shoot-offs of Marvel and DC and all this other stuff, pretty much pimping my childhood and probably your childhood as well. Were you into, comic books growing up?
I wasn't into actual comic books, but I was always into the comic book related stuff. You know what I mean? Like I was always into the toys. I was always into the movies, the cartoons. Like
Yeah.
I watched the X-Men cartoon. All that, I was always some sort of superhero for Halloween.
Yeah, right.
But I've never been a comic book guy until recently. My son is a big comic book guy. And so sometimes I'll read along, like some of the series that he's into, I'll read them just so he and I can talk about him and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice little moment to bond with the children. Yeah, no, you're one of them cats that, what, you had 2 sets of twins you had? I mean, yeah, my goodness, how's the family doing?
Family's good, man. Family's really, really good. My older girls are in freshmen in high school now, which is insanity. And then my younger ones are in 3rd grade.
Brother, my oldest is about to turn 20, so let's just...
What?
Yeah.
What?
Exactly. And believe me, she's done... I love you, baby, I love you, but you know damn well you've done shaved off many years off your daddy's life, but I love you nonetheless. So, back to the show, man. So, where in the timeline... obviously, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the canon. I'm a bit of a nerd myself. Where in the timeline does this story take place of... not necessarily the X-Men, but the mutants, the Sentinel Service? What timeline in the whole thing does this take place? Can you speak on to that?
Yeah. Well, it is in the X-Men universe, but you know how the comic books have there are several different timelines and realities in the comic books.
Sure.
So we kind of have our own timeline and our own reality. In our story, the X-Men have disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're living in a world where mutants are treated horribly, and they're 3rd, 4th, 5th class citizens, so they're just trying to survive. They're just trying to survive in this hostile world.
Right. I mean, and they've continued to kind of proliferate, if you will. Like, we're still seeing them pop up. Kids are still being... born mutants, as we saw last night, in the beginning of the episode. Andy's sitting here talking smack about mutants, and here comes find out, through bullying, through tapping into his power, he's like a super mutant with some pretty sick powers, man.
Wasn't that a crazy sequence, man? That gave me the chills. That whole thing was dope.
Yeah, no, that was really heavy. I mean, it was just, I like I said, I'm a big, huge fan of just the whole genre, but the way they did that was just so sweet. Hey sis, let me tag along with you to the thing, and hey, what happens if they bully you? I'm used to it, and they get. I just love how that whole sequence went down. Took him into the locker room, and then he just goes, full on and full on mutant on the kids, and
Yeah, the effects with that locker room falling apart, like when the first little tile started popping off, and then when the showers just bam, that was I was like, wow, I'm on this show.
I'm on board.
You know
exactly.
What I mean?
Dude, at first I was with I forget her name, the character's name. His sister At first, I didn't get her powers. I was like, wow, she throws bubble wrap, essentially. I didn't quite. And then she's like, no, I can. She's like, no, I can kind of do it with. What I love, bro, I love the story arc. And obviously, this is just episode 1. I love in all of the movies, man, I just got my power. I'm just finding out how to use it. And then that arc of the whole, like, becoming, one with their power, etc. And obviously, we got a long way to go. But, obviously, you come straight out of the box, Mr. Jace Turner. Mr. Badass Supreme, give me a little insight, man, because you reminded me, and I hope this isn't dirty pool comparing. You reminded me, obviously, of the Smith a bit from the Matrix. Kind of track down the Matrix kids. But who is Jace Turner? Obviously, he didn't just show up being this. Obviously, he had to have a nice pedigree to be heading up the Sentinel Services. Where did this cat come from?
So the writers get into his sort of origin story really early on in the series. I think episode 5 goes all into how he became who he is, and I wasn't expecting that. I was perfectly happy just to run around going, freeze, get down, freeze, But they went deep, man. And so this guy, he was a cop in Dallas. There was a horrible tragedy in his life that sprung him into becoming a member of the Sentinel Services, sort of vowing to make sure that never happened to anyone else. It was a mutant-related thing that happened.
Okay.
So he doesn't necessarily hate mutants. He really thinks he's doing the right thing here. He's got to put a stop to the ones that are out there doing wrong in his opinion. So in his mind, he's sort of like the hero of this story.
Okay. So in the beginning, when you were like, hey man, I got to take your kids. I mean, you weren't just running game. You're like, look, this is for their protection. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, he does what he has to do, and he can be a dick about it. I think he was being sincere in that scene.
Right.
But just like any cop, you kind of get jaded, and you're kind of like, look, I just got to get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of where he is, and I think it's really cool with this character, because it's like they're setting him up to where he's the antagonist, he's the bad guy, but he's not a bad guy.
No, and that's almost kind of like immediately how they did with the dad. The dad is like, he's apparently the head of the prosecuting wing of this, mutant, registration or whatever, and he immediately like, hey dude, both of your kids are mutants, and he immediately makes the choice, like, all right, I'm done, we got to hide out my kids. And it kind of seems like with your character, you can kind of see that element of, you're kind of cool, but you're doing your job. So, I mean, we'll see, obviously, later on down the line, the more they kind of humanize this character, if you will, because you can kind of see already he's doing his job, but he's not a complete asshole, it seems like.
Yeah, he's not. And he's doing what he has to do. He's doing what he feels like he has to do. But we'll see as the season goes further and further, he gets deeper in it than he wants to be, and he kind of gets uncomfortable with what he has to do, or who he's teamed up with. Which they bring in this guy Garrett Dillahunt, this amazing actor who plays Dr. Roderick Campbell, who's from the comic books. And he teams up with that guy, and he very quickly is like, wait a minute, what did I do? Yeah. And
which is so interesting because, obviously, you could draw so many parallels from like art imitating life and vice versa. And, like in the real world, you have some people who have nothing but nefarious stuff on their mind in these agencies. And then you have people who who are just doing their job and kind of, wanting to, their intentions are good, but they're a part of a kind of a bad team of sorts.
Yeah. There's just like there's gray areas in life. This show tackles a lot of those gray areas and just kind of puts them out there.
What is Jamie's last name?
Jamie Chung.
All right. So first of all, obviously you're a married man, and I get it, but I have to pause the show to stop looking at her for a minute. She's so hurtfully, beautifully fine. Like she's. You know what, bro? I remember her from freaking Road Rules, and I was like, dude, this chick is absolutely gorgeous, and I didn't know if she was in
Road Rules?
She was in MTV, either Road Rules or Real World.
Or
one of
Real
those
World.
Two. Yes, dude.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where I first saw her, and she's been acting for quite a while now, but even then I was just like, oh my God, I gotta like avert my gaze. It was painful. Jeez.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's very talented. And I mean, all the women on the show, you know, Emma Dumont.
Yeah.
The one who plays Polaris. She's such a badass. She's beautiful. She's extremely talented. And you got Amy Acker, Amy Acker blew my mind last night, man. She plays the mom.
Yeah.
Just so good, man. So connected to everything that she's doing. And then Natalie, the one who plays the daughter. Both those kids, man, they killed it last night.
Totally.
I was so impressed.
I obviously, you know, Brian and Matt, you guys, they know what they're doing. So I was really kind of wondering, you know, I don't want to cast aspersions on other shows doing superhero stuff that just isn't quite bringing it as far as I'm concerned. So it's like I was really, really hoping like the casting was on point. 'Cause, I mean, I knew from the writing and the directing that was going to really be on point. But I mean, you know, to really sell this world, you know, you really need to have the actors really bring the pain. And in my opinion, last night they absolutely did. And another thing, I love seeing fresh faces, man, fresh faces that are just blowing the doors down. And you're just like, wow. And it's so good when you see in the end, it's so good. You're like, wow, this thing has legs, man. This thing has legs.
I agree, man. I agree. Yeah, because I had never seen the whole thing, and so just as a fan of that kind of stuff, which I am, just watching it last night with my kids and my wife, and we were all like, "Yo, wait a minute."
I bet the kids probably loved it. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, big time. Like they were geeking out on it. So yeah, I was blown away, man. Especially by those kids. Like I like, you know, like Percy, the guy who plays Andy. Mm-hmm. For him to be he's like 15 years old, man. For him to have that much figured out as far as the art of acting, or maybe he doesn't have it figured out. Maybe he's just coming at it, you know, just raw. I don't know, man. But I'm watching him going like, dude, I need to step my game up because this kid is good. Yeah,
they really all were, man. I was, you know, very much so. I don't know, just I was just pleasantly surprised. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be anything other than good, but I mean, I'm just like, I don't watch much TV at all, quite frankly, and so to get me to like really sit down and, you know, to check it out, I was, you know, obviously a huge fan of yours, and, you know, was anxious to see you. Man, that's the other thing I meant to mention, dude. Mad Dogs, so love that. I know that did not get picked up. That was a series on Amazon, I believe it was, and you played an assassin. Man, huge fan of that series. If anybody happens to go, I don't even know if that's around to peep out, but if you can peep out Mad Dogs, it was basically a remake of a UK version of like kind of the similar plot or show. But sorry to digress there, but yeah.
No. Yeah. I think they can still find it on Amazon. Yeah. It was Steve Zahn, Michael Imperioli. Yeah, it was a great cast, man.
Well, and it was cool. It was like, man, getting used to Coby as the heel. Like you played an assassin, which was pretty sweet. Like that was with the interesting pastel colors that you wore. It's just like the jumpsuits and the biker shorts.
Listen, I'm not, you know, you wearing those. I had to wear one of those biker suits, not like a motorcycle biker, but like a you know, 10-speed long distance, whatever, Lance Armstrong style. That shit is uncomfortable. And to have to wear that day in, day out, that's all my guy wore pretty much. And it's like, and I don't know if people know, but they have this there's this padded kind of protection thing that goes from the bottom of your butt all the way up around your crotch. It's like, dude, what is this? Get this off of me.
Right, especially, where were you guys at? The Dominican? No, where were you guys at? Puerto Rico, the Dominican? I forget.
We shot that in Puerto Rico. So
nice and sweaty.
All my love goes to all my friends out there. Big
yes,
time.
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very tragic situation going on there. Absolutely insane, really. Yeah.
Yeah, made worse by this genius we got running the show over here.
Oh, we won't even get into it. Yeah, I know, right? I saw him going through talking to people today, and as he was leaving, he said, "Have a good time." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
It's like there's no words. There's no words. There's no more words. It's like, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, I won't take you down that rabbit hole because you know I run deep on that one. But
I know you run way deep on that.
Well, that's the other thing. The other show I do is with the UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. It's called The Conspiracy Farm, and we're like 40 episodes in. We're actually turning it into a TV show, bro. It's actually gonna shop it to Netflix. Him and I kind of traveling around. We're not doing Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot stuff. It's dope, man. It's actually really dope, and we've had some really cool guests, and it's, you know, it's crazy. But yeah,
wow.
Yeah, we're having fun. We're having a good time. Well, bro, check it out, man.
Yeah,
I don't want to keep you.
That are.
Yeah, they're
no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, they're just. You're right. They're everywhere, and it's. I just have to say, I say it all the time on the show. Nothing is as it appears, and it goes well beyond the right-left thing, if you will. So, outside of that, the conversations can go on a long ways, but I won't tend to bore you. But yeah, man, shoot out a little social. I know you can't really say too much of what's coming up down the line as far as story-wise, but social networking. Where can we track you down and follow all of your progress, my friend?
I'm trying to get my social media thing going more. That's kind of like pulling teeth for me doing all that social media stuff, but I'm doing it now for the show a lot. So my Twitter is I'm Coby Bell, and then the Instagram is Coby Bellagram.
Coby Bellagram.
Coby Bellagram.
Words.
Yes.
And the show is when?
The show is Monday, 8 Central on Fox.
Check your local listings,
Fox,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Fox with a capital X.
Capital F-O-X. Man, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my absolute pleasure, brother. I know it'll probably be another 10 years before we talk, but I'm always a fan, always watching my man. I'm glad the fam is good. I'm glad business is, as steady as it always is for you, and continued success, my friend. Absolutely nothing but the best.
Thank you, Jeff, man. It's good talking to you, brother.
Absolutely. Take care. This has been Coby Scott Bell. Check him out Monday nights, The Gifted on Fox. Check your local listings. Peace and all too much love, ladies and gentlemen. Holla.
Woohoo!